Hi everyone, welcome to another part from our Ivy and the Inky Butterfly page. We're going to start with this one today. So we have got our bottle hanging down. I think it's a sort of glass bottle. We'll start with this. I'm going to make the thread, we made it sort of silver yesterday. I'm going to make it like a ribbon, I think, today, just so it's a little bit different. I'm just trying to think about what colour. That's the colour I'm going to do the bottle. Keep it a secret for now. And so we'll do a sort of purpley coloured. This is 139, which is the, no, I'm not reading that. It's 138, which is the violet. So I'm just going to do a little bit, leave a gap and a little bit. It's about time I got a new one of these out, I think. I do have a replacement, I'm sure. There we go. So there is our violet, and the beads, maybe a slightly darker colour. I'm just looking at what colours we've used because I don't want to use an identical colour. I'm thinking maybe the blue violet might be nice. I'm just going to give it a sharpen. A lot of sharpening on this page going on. Blue violet. I know we're zoomed out. We will come in closer when we come onto the bottle. But for the circle, for the bead, just circle it round. Try and fade it towards the middle a little bit if you can. But, oh, it's a very noisy train. But don't worry if you can't. There we go. Okay. I am going to come in closer now because we can. I'll pop it towards the middle. There we go. So these hanging pieces, I'm thinking it's probably easier to do in silver. I'm going to grab, let's grab the Cold Grey 5 and just take the colour up and round, leaving a little white bit. It's the same as we've been doing on all of them really. These ones that are facing us I feel should be slightly lighter if possible. And you could use a slightly lighter pencil. You could go down to Cold Grey 4, but I'm too lazy for that. I just try and press a bit lighter and hope it will do. Right, onto our bottle. Now I've decided to do it purple. You may have guessed. Ooh. Sorry, I just hit the desk with my chair. I was trying to get closer. This is the mauve. This is our darkest purple colour. Now I'm going to use that for the glass of the bottle. I'm just having a good look at it. Now we've got the top. Now I'm thinking the top, it could all be the same colour. You know, it could all be the same glass. The stopper could be the same. And this pattern could be either engraved or embossed on the glass. So I'm going to keep it all the same colour. So for the top, let's do the top first. Not too hard and fade towards the middle, and the same here. And then this bit do a little bit darker so it looks like it's in a bit. That's my plan anyway. Then here, fade towards the middle. And the same here on this one. I'm going to put quite a bit there. Now you probably expect there to be a bit of shadow under there. We'll come in and we might do a few shadows later. We're just going to get down all of our mauve first. There we go. So this one, we want it to be quite intense on the edge. I'm completely ignoring the patterning at the minute. We'll come back and we'll worry about that. Well, we won't worry. We'll do something about it after. So I'm just going to fade it as we get towards the middle. Yeah, my sister was having an interesting morning. Her daughter's boyfriend was staying at theirs and he had a mock exam and he was late getting up. So her husband offered him a lift to college and he was like, well, it's not your responsibility to take me. But they insisted. He wasn't going to bother going because he would miss the start. But but they insisted on taking him in. I did wonder whether he wanted an excuse not to go. Maybe he thought he wasn't going to do very well. But anyway, he got there. So that was her first start to her morning. She was actually on her way to work. I'm going to grab a Payne's Grey to do some shadows. Sharpen it first. And her husband's got to go back to the hospital because he needs some antibiotics for an infection on his finger, which he couldn't get a GP appointment. So I'm going around all the bits where I think there would be some shadow, as I said, like under here. And luckily her daughter hasn't got any exams today, so she can look after her little brothers while the dad's out. Now, this, embossed or engraved? Engraved, which means it would be darker. So I'm going to put a bit of this over all of it and then darken it, particularly on the edges. Now I'm taking note of how my colour is fading towards the middle, trying to do the same thing with my grey. Sorry for my hoarse voice. I picked up my son's cold a while ago, and I thought I wasn't really, I just had a bit of a sore throat, it wasn't really turning into anything, but I did wake up in the night with a really tickly cough. I had to go and get some cough mixture for fear of waking up the whole house. I wouldn't normally have it because of all the sugar in it, which I try and avoid having sugar, but obviously it's not like I'm having candies or sweets or anything. So I'm trying to make this a bit darker nearer the edges, a bit lighter here, a bit darker here. It's not too essential. There we go. I'm not sure if that really has worked, to be honest. I think I'll go a bit darker on the edges. Just go inside where Johanna's drawn and see if that helps us at all, because there'd be a sort of shadow on the edge. But yeah, so I don't think I'm not feeling unwell. Don't know. I think it's of course he was ill last week drawing his mocks. Interestingly, their college did their mocks the week before most places, so they had their mocks last week and then have half term this week. And most schools and colleges seem to have their mocks this week and their half term not until next week. Right, that's that one. I'm going to move across, just move my sharpener out of the way and do the pocket watch. I'm going to come out a little bit. So we've got the top part here. Now we've got this sort of coil. It's almost like it's a sort of twisted rope, which is quite fun. I think we'll colour it as twine rather than metal, but I'm thinking it might be a nice sort of yellow brownish colour, almost gold. But we're going to start with our dark Naples yellow, which is going to be very difficult for you to see, and just colour it all over, but not too hard, because this isn't going to be our only colour. There we go. And then get something a little bit darker. I'm thinking the brown ochre. See, this is a much more modern pencil because it's written in lowercase. The old Polychromos is written in capitals. So I'm going to put a little bit of this on the edges, just to make it look a bit like there's some shadow. Way around. So I don't know what mock exam he was having. He does psychology, but my niece does it as well, so I would know she hasn't got any exams today, so it's not that. I think he's doing some sort of business, I think. Now I think to contrast with this we could do some silver here. What have we got out? Got our Payne's grey out. Let's use the Payne's grey. Or is that what we used on that one? No. We'll use the Payne's grey. It'll be a bit darker than this one then. So like we did before, dark here and then fade, and dark here and fade, and we'll do the same coming up from this side. You notice I'm leaving a bigger gap because I'm going to add a bit of blue in this one like we did on an earlier one. I can't remember which one. We'll do it again on this one. Maybe it's on our ring. Is it? No, I don't know. Anyway, we're going to do that again just for something different to do. I'm just seeing what you can see. Can you see? Yes. So we could do this bit. And around here. Keep it quite dark in there if you can. Layer it up. It's got quite a lot of space to sort of fade it into. There we go. And then I'm going to grab the blue. I think the light ultramarine is probably the best one, so we're going to use that one again. You can't see it. And I'm going to put it all over and just extend it into the space of it. You might not like it with the blue, you might want to use a lighter grey instead. It's just, this is an idea I got from Helen Elliston's books. She also uses the silver pencil in her silver colouring, which is interesting. That's quite blue, isn't it? But hey, let's leave that, and that's fine. I'm going to move my pencil sharpener again. We just need to do this gemstone before we push it out of view. I'm looking at the clock. I've got no idea, the watch, what I'm going to do with it. What colours have we used? Let's use a red. Let's do a dark red. This is middle cadmium red, one of our darker reds actually. And I'm just going to do this quite simply. Take that red down on that edge one and this one, and up from that corner. And then these ones that are facing us, maybe a little bit of a diagonal, a bit like we did on the green one there. You can just about see it in the corner. And then I am going to use some white. I'm going to do that now because I won't smudge it because we'll be working below it. So this is my Gellyroll, and I'm just going to take it out from the centre a bit, not necessarily all the way to the bottom, because we can see some of the black. Just take out a bit, sort of fade it down, so it can makes it look like it's more shiny in the middle than it is on the edge. I take out a bit more though. There we go. So there is our red gem, and now we have our pocket watch. Now I think, looking at the design, so we've got this very deep inside piece here because the hands are on top of it. So this is in deep, so I think it could make sense to make this bit quite dark. Then we have this pattern on here, and then we have maybe this bit would have a glass over it or something. They don't always. So thinking with this deep bit in here, maybe we'd do that our darkest colour. And I'm looking at the colours that we've used. I was thinking to do it dark blue, but we've used quite a bit of dark blue, but we haven't really used a really dark green apart from that gemstone. So maybe we'll use that. Might be nice. So the deep cobalt green, and I think I'm just going to colour it in quite dark. So all the bits that aren't swirly pattern, I'm going to colour in with this, and I'm layering it up so it's quite a dark layer. If you can see. And I'm not worrying too much about shade and shadow. I just think I want this all to be dark, like it's sort of down in the depths of the watch. I mean, it's obviously not that far down because it's got all the workings, all the cogs, but she hasn't drawn that, which would be quite difficult to colour in this small space. But we do have in her new book, Rooms of Wonder, plenty of cogs and things to colour. I've done a couple of pages of the cogs. now. It's quite fun. I use my metallic pencils to help me get some shine. I mean, the Castle metallics are not mega shiny, but they're nice colours. And I coloured them like I did up here to create shine. I did that sort of thing as well, so that it still looks, you leave some white for your shine as well as using a metallic pencil, and then it sort of makes up for the fact that it isn't really mega shiny. And I think it's good because even if you use a shiny gel pen, or even if you use like stickles or glitter or anything like that, when it only shines when it's tipped towards the light. Whereas if you create artificial shine with your colouring, then it doesn't matter what way your book's tipped or whether the light's catching it at the right angle, it always looks shiny. I noticed that Sarah Renee Clark has just been saying she's got a video on doing gold. It was a gold ribbon, like a bow. I'm going to have a look at it later. I'm not sure what's going on here. I think I'm going to colour through that. There's a single line there. I think maybe it should have been a pair and it hasn't been drawn in, but it's so narrow. You could leave one, a little gap, but I'm going to not, just colour over it. And I'm getting to the point where I need to decide what colour to go for with regards to the hands and the stars. Am I going to go for silver or gold? Because there would obviously be metal in this, or do I do both? That is something I'm considering actually, doing both. So I might do both. I do love a pretty pocket watch. I bought my husband one when we got married, and it's got our wedding date engraved on it, which apparently makes it really not valuable at auction, because who wants to buy a watch with somebody else's date, significant date on it, you know? Right, doesn't seem to match up, does it? I'm wondering whether to just, I don't know, I think that should be taken out. Yeah, I think maybe there's a bit there that I should have left white. Anyway, I'm just sort of tidying it up a little bit here. And then I've decided that I'm going to use the metallic pencils for this. They're not amazing, but I think they're different and fun, and you can see what you think of them. This is the gold. So if you don't have the metallic Polychromos, you can see what they look like. This one is really pale. Actually, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to erase that. If you've done it, sorry. The best way to use the gold, so I've been told, to put a yellow underneath. I'm going to use the dark Naples Ochre first, and then I'm going to put the gold on top. On all of these bits, I know some of them are right next to each other and it looks like maybe that should be a different colour, but I'm not going to. I'm going to keep it all the same colour. Yes, I don't know who shared that tip. It's a good one. But yeah, if you want it really shiny, use a pen. Any metallic gel pen would be better than pencil, but I'm just sticking with the pencil because I am. I'm wondering if some of that should actually be green in there, but it's yellow now. So yeah, it would be a lot shinier if you used a pen. So there's our yellow, and then I'm going to go on top now with the gold. And it sort of dulls it down a bit, you can see that, but it isn't, it's more vibrant than it is when it's just used on its own. I'm trying to make sure I cover everything with it. I can hear the birds singing. I'm wondering whether to go for a walk today or not. My husband wants some vitamins, but he also needs some ironing done. I'd rather go for a walk than do the ironing, but I've got to do the ironing either way. Have a think. But yeah, his vitamins aren't going to run out for a few days, he said. So there we go. So it's sort of dulled down that yellow actually a bit. But just moving my pencils around a little bit. Okay, I'm going to do the hands in silver. I think they'll stand out. Well, I hope they'll stand out. And I'm actually just going to use the silver pencil again. If you use the, I don't think you'll see that word on there. If you use a silver pen, it'd be brighter. But I find that out of metallic pencils, silvers are the most vibrant. They are the best. They seem to stand out better than anything else. I'm doing that central bit as well. And I think I'm going to do these stars in the silver. So yes, silver is always the best. I don't know whether... I think it's because if you think about a normal graphite pencil, they're quite shiny, naturally quite shiny anyway. There's a lot of shine in that. So maybe that is partly how the silver works. I don't really know how they make metallic pencil shiny. I shall have to ask when I go to the Derwent Pencil Museum, but I haven't got a date planned for going. It probably won't be for about 3 or 4 years, I suspect, but anyway. Right, now what colour are we going to do this bit? We've got this deep green in the middle. I'm wondering if we come out, we maybe have a lighter green. Should we maybe try the Phthalo Green? That's a bit lighter. Okay, and so I'm not going to do it around this sort of pattern here. I'm just going to do it on this bit. Now you could put some shine on here, make it darker in some areas and lighter in others and leave a bit of a shiny bit. But I think I'm just going to lay it down and then have a think. Just put down a sort of medium layer, if that makes sense. So that I can decide, you know, how it looks. So it'll take a little while to just go all the way around. I'm sort of thinking about this little mini series, and I think we might just do this side and we might not do the other side immediately. I've got some Rooms of Wonder videos I want to do. I might slot those in, or I've got so many things that I want to do for you. I'm not sure. I thought maybe we'll do the facing page later. I don't know. You might think, oh, I want to get it all done, the whole page, but it is a double, so I don't know. We'll see. I sort of, because I've got the Rooms of Wonder Lost Property Office page that I'm in the middle of as well, while I'm recording this one, I guess I don't really want 2 Rooms of Wonder series running in parallel, although I know I have done before. I think what I'm going to do is go around this edge here and darken it up a little bit. Because I think this might be overlapping. So it might be a bit of shadow. That's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to sort of fade it out a little bit. So I'm not quite sure what the date is, whether it's still February when this video goes out. I think it will be, yes. It'll be the end, towards the end, won't it? I don't always, because I record in advance, it's always a little bit tricky to know what date's going on. I try and line my videos up. Today is the 15th of Feb, and I've actually got our Valentine's Heart video going out, even though it's a bit behind. Valentine's Day's passed us by, but hopefully it'll be okay. Just that I made so many and then I had to try and fit them in around various series, so you know, I didn't want not to show it to you. I'm wondering whether to do the inside as well, but I think it makes it look a bit more shiny. I quite like it just left like that, so I'm going to leave it. Excuse me. Now I have to decide whether to do this outside bit in gold or silver. I'm not going to use the gold and silver pencil for this. I'm going to do proper gold and silver. Well, we've got a gold here, so maybe we'd use the silver for this one. Maybe we'll continue with like we did for the we used the blue and the Payne's grey. Maybe we'll do that, but maybe we'll use another grey in between. I think we've got a bit more space. So I've got my Payne's grey in my hand. Let me just show you. Oops, correct way. And I'm just going to mark out all the darker areas. And then I'm going to use a slightly lighter grey before we go on and do our blue. And then I'll probably pick this up again to do a few shadows maybe. Now I need to think about where's it's going to be light and dark. Now here we put the light across here, so I think we need to do the same on this one or else it's going to look a little bit odd. I'll try and line it up better this time. It'll be easier because we've got this sort of, well, it might not be. Who am I kidding? I still might mess it up. Oh, I just hit my sharpener with my elbow. So up and round, just fade it out like that. And the same on the top. My son that is talking so loudly. I don't know if you can hear him. Now with these clasps, I'm thinking I will do them each one separately, so dark on the edge. I think it'll be easier that way. Put a little bit of shine in the middle of each one. They have got this sort of pattern drawn. I'm actually going to ignore that and just excuse me, just do this dark bit on the edge. All the way around. I wonder if this has taken us a long time. Yeah. Okay, I was wondering whether to do this beaded one as well, but we've got a big spoon to do. Spoons are always an interesting one. I can't always get them looking how I want, but we'll see. Be tomorrow, not today. I'll procrastinate that one. So now I want a slightly lighter grey. What have we got here? Yeah, we'll use the Cold Grey 5 and just extend all of those grey areas a little bit. Can sort of smooth out that a little bit if it's not quite looking as smooth as you'd hoped. Not leaving a massive amount of room for blue. So I really wanted to look as blue as the bits up above because they were a bit bluer than I had planned for. Okay, doesn't matter where we start with here, we're just bringing it in towards the middle, leaving a gap, which I failed to do on that one. Excuse me, I've got a tickle again. Oh, it was short-lived, thankfully, so I would have had to have stopped. I don't know if you get those tickles that just stay and stay and make your eyes run. Ooh, they aren't nice. Don't even know what gets rid of those. Cough mixture's quite good actually for those, because it sort of moistens the throat. I remember having one once in a car, coughing so much. Was abroad. My mum gave me she had a locket, which was lucky. You know, the cough sweet, but it made it worse. I then choked on that sweet scent of it, and it was great. This is the light ultramarine, and I choked so much, coughed and choked so much. She thought she got me out of a sick bag. I'm not gonna be sick. It's just so horrible. But anyway. I don't know we're in America. Sure, I don't know who was driving. I was in the back of a car with my mum. Maybe my dad was driving. I know when we were in Australia, we hired a van for lots of us to travel in. It may have been there. Don't know. I went to both America and Australia with my parents when I was a bit older, and I think it was good going when I was older. I think if I'd had foreign holidays when I was a child, they'd have all merged together like my childhood holidays did, and I wouldn't have really remembered them that well. But I have been to America twice, and I can't really remember the difference. Once I think we stayed with relatives, and once I think we didn't. I'm not sure. Right, I think that's done. I'm just looking and thinking, do I want to add any more? But I don't think I do. I think I'm okay with that. I'm going to come out so you can see it all. There's the top of the book. There we go. Okay, so tomorrow's might be, we've been quite long today, but tomorrow's might be long because we'll just get that bit finished, the rest of the page done, which will be nice. And then, as I say, the other side I may or may not do. I will do it, but I might not do it straight away. I might leave it for a bit. I haven't quite decided yet. But for today, thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a really lovely day and happy colouring.